Mike Bohn here at Team Bodyshop with the one and only AJ McKee, undefeated Bellator finalist in the Grand Prix, man. It's here. It's finally, we know who you're fighting. We've been waiting so long for this. I mean, you were over there, you saw Patricio win his fight. Just tell me how you're feeling now that you know the exact goal that's ahead of you here.
Man, I'm ready, you know. No days off. I'm in the gym grinding and just preparing, you know. It's been 17 fights in the making for this fight, you know. So I'm excited to finally go in there and test my skills, you know. I think my skills match up very well for him, with that being my advantage, of course. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this thing for so long here to actually be there, like cage side, and see the other fight happen. Does it give you any sort of like different outlook to have it actually be real now?
Not really. It's kind of motivation and preparation. Being at that event, getting to commentate, getting to just be there without fighting, you know? Like my whole thing when I was there, I was like, I want to go get in the cage, you know what I mean? Like that's my cage. Like I want to be in there, you know? So commentating, everything's fun, but it was nice just to see who I'm going to face next, you know? And now I can put together the game plan that I figured I was already going to have, you know? So it's here and it's go time.
And to go back to the commentating aspect, I mean, was it a little hard for you to be on the desk there and maybe separate the professional from maybe the emotional side of it when you're doing the breakdown and they're asking you for like, how's this going to go? Because I know you'd said so many times, like, I think Sanchez is going to choke him out. I've had that dream. And was it hard to kind of separate the reality from what you were feeling internally maybe?
Not really. No, because I enjoy being up there, but it's like when I step in that cage, it's a little different. So like commentating, everything's fun, but it's a different level of entertainment. You know what I mean? Fighting's one type of entertainment, and then being a show spokesman is a whole different level. You know what I mean? So usually that's like fighters at the end of their career. They're knowledgeable. They know what they're doing. I'm 26 now, like I already know I'm knowledgeable. I'm evolving my skills while trying to add other things to it. So at the end of the day, like my dad says, man, just open up as many doors as you can and just be well spoken.
Yeah. So I know you had said that you did have the dream, you know, you thought Sanchez was going to win. Were you surprised that
I had a dream I choked out Sanchez.
Okay, so right.
That's why I thought he was going to win, and going based off their first fight, it was a close fight. Okay. But Pitbull, no. Maybe, I don't know, that was about 3 years ago. Pitbull, he already knows what time it is, that leash in the kennel, you know? So
were you impressed by his performance at all there? I mean, it seems like his past few, through this tournament, he's looked pretty damn solid in there.
Yeah, it's pretty textbook Pitbull. You know, Sanchez went out there and did textbook Sanchez. 1, 2, 3, throw a lead leg head kick. That's been his bread and butter forever. Pitbull read it, you know? Like I've always said, he's a great adapter. He reads people very well, but I'm not going to give him the opportunity to read me, you know what I mean? Those are fighters that fight in patterns, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't know what I'm going to do, so how can you train for that?
Yeah, you feel the unpredictability more your advantage there, right?
That's the key to life, man. That's the key to life. Just evolve and keep trying to add things, you know? If it doesn't work, don't add it. If it works, add it.
So when you got in the cage in there and you guys did the face-off, what did you make of that? Was there anything you saw, you know, looking into his eyes and actually getting to the front face-to-face?
He broke. I don't ever lose a stare down. The stare down is the fight. So it shows me how the fight's going to go, how bad you want it. He broke. He blinked. He looked away. That tells me all I need to know right there. So when we get in that cage, I'm going to break you because I already broke you once.
And you were keeping your eyes on him during his press conference and everything. There's that video that came out of you like standing at the top of the escalators looking down at him. What was kind of going through your mind when you were just sitting there? Like, it seems like you just couldn't take your eyes off him for the rest of that night once you won that fight.
Well, honestly, I was standing down there. I was going to go snatch the belt off the table, but Victoria came over and told me not to, and Mazzulli, the commissioner, like, go upstairs. I think they saw what I was doing. They know I'm coming for that belt, so I just went up there and stood at the top. I just wanted to hear what he had to say, you know, and yeah, focus, man. Eye on the prize. You know, you got 2 of my belts sitting up there. That's what I'm looking at. I want to hear what you have to say, and him keep talking about fighting Volkanovski and all these other guys, like. Hey, you got to get past me, player. You know what I mean? Like I said, Easter's past. You counting them eggs before they hatch, but I'm coming for that neck.
He says you're scared. Why do you think he thinks that?
I'm undefeated. What's there to be scared of? I've called your name since I first stepped in your cage. You've been a champion since I first stepped foot in that cage. I've called your name since day one. I fear no man. I'll tell you that much. I fear no man.
Yeah, and we know that about you, especially the highest level of fighters. Like, I don't think any of you guys are legitimately afraid to fight each other or anything like that. So why do you think you'd say that? Is that just fight hype, do you think, in his mind?
Nah, maybe he's trying to portray the feelings that he has within himself onto me. But at the end of the day, I just got to keep focusing on myself, stay in this gym, stay grinding with my boys and evolving, because iron sharpens iron.
And you talked a little bit about the strategy at the press conference you did after, like, this guy shouldn't get anywhere near me if you use your height and your reach effectively and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel, is that going to be kind of the key assets to winning this fight? Is just probably it's going to be majority stand up, and if he's going to have a hard time with your range?
It should look like the Pat Curran fight all over again. Pat Curran's bigger, a little bit longer. If he couldn't get near me, then why should he? You know what I mean? I watched the Strauss fight. That left hand is invisible to him. He don't see it. It sat him on his ass. You know what I mean? So I just take little things from each fight, and I add those to my arsenal. What works against him, what doesn't work, and then I use my advantages. If my advantages aren't working, then I go to the other tools that I've learned with. You know what I mean? So for him, I'm just, man, stay long, pick him apart, keep the volume. I don't think anybody really has volume like mine. Sanchez does, but like I said, he's a pillow puncher. He don't punch hard. So me punching hard with that volume, I think it's a really big threat for him, and I can't wait to sit him on his ass a couple times.
In your perfect world, when would this fight happen? I know Scott Coker said he hopes for it to be sooner than later. Obviously, Patricio didn't take any damage in that fight, so do you think we could get this going pretty soon here?
It's April. Shit, I just had my birthday. May, June? June sounds good. Give him a little couple weeks back in it. You already in shape and weight. I don't know. That was the original date that Mr. Coker said was June. Hopefully at the latest, dude, July. Like, you know what I mean? I feel that's, this tournament's already been prolonged 2 years. You know what I mean? I'm in the peak prime of my career. Guaranteed 3 fights a year. I'm fighting once a year right now. So I'm just really trying to get back in there, I'm in the gym every day. I want to be in that cage. I want to be fighting. I need to be making checks and securing the bag, man. I got that $1 million check that I wrote back in, like, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, 05. Like, I'm trying to go cash that thing.
Are you hopeful that by the time that rolls around, there's going to be crowds again for Bellator? I know Scott Coker said they've been exploring it, or you don't care?
Nah, I want no crowd. I like no crowd. It makes it more technical. As far as the actual fight, the real fighter has to show up. There's no crowd to thrive off of. There's nothing for you to fuel that fire besides your own motivation, you know what I mean? And for me, it's 7 O's, 6 on my check, 1 on my record.
Well, maybe the rematch can have a crowd, right? When you go up to lightweight, that's still the plan?
Rematch, maybe we'll do pay-per-view or something, because after I knock his ass out, I don't think he's going to want to do it again.
There you go. You don't think that's going to be the case? I mean, the whole lightweight thing is kind of interesting, too, but that's your perfect case scenarios. You beat him twice and take both belts.
Both belts, champ. I said that probably about 4 years ago. So I said it before McGregor did it. He was the first one to do it. Shout out to him. Keep doing your thing. But yeah, I'm trying to come for all those belts. You know what I mean? All the belts, all the records. I want to beat Khabib's record. He's 29-0. Shit, might go 40-0. We'll just see how things play out. Just keep taking it one fight at a time and continue to progress.
Any changes on the contract front, or is it still going to be these final 2 fights here? You win the featherweight belt, you win the lightweight belt, and then we'll see what happens.
Well, contract-wise, after this fight, technically my contract extends 3 fights, championship clause. It's in damn near every contract in MMA. So either I sit on the sideline for a year and then I become a free agent, or it goes to a bidding war between everyone. Or we sit down, we renegotiate after I win the tournament, and we talk millions.
Fair to say that you're open to all options, though? I mean, I feel like you win the belt here, you're going to be very, very valuable, especially to Bellator. I mean, you're the homegrown guy. That's what I love about this fight, too, honestly. Like, there's no sign from elsewhere. You guys are both all the way Bellator.
It's all homegrown. It's the cream of the crop of Bellator, He's got very great notable wins under him. I've got a couple under me, so going out there and sitting him on his ass is literally all I have to do. And I've been hungry for it since the day I've stepped in that cage, you know what I mean? I've known what my path is and who I need to beat. So I think he told me I got to lose in order to win. I've already lost in life, you know what I mean? Now it's time to win in life, and that's by all the hard work, dedication, the no days off, you know what I mean? I'm in the gym Monday through Sunday. My dad's like, dude, take a day off. I'm all right, I'll just go run, you know what I mean? So it's the grind, you know what I mean? That's where that's where the most growth is made. In the days where you don't want to wake up, you don't want to go, and people are telling you don't do it, but you still go. You know what I mean? That shows the mental, the strength that you have within yourself to go do it. And man, honestly, if you could adapt and put that into your life, whatever you do in life, man, the world's for the taking.
And last thing I kind of want to talk about here is, what do you think Patricio is the #1 featherweight in the world? I mean, this was the topic of conversation coming off this last event. I know you talked about, him calling out Volkanovski, and we are legitimately discussing this as like media, being like, is he the best guy at 145 right now, not just in Bellator, but in the UFC? And I assume you beating him, that would, be even better for your stock if you think that way. But do you or is it too hard to say with the difference in kind of competition and that kind of stuff?
Definitely. Our like him and I, we could go over to UFC and we're hanging with everybody. I'm sure I'll go over to UFC. People doubt it. Oh, you fucking fight cans. You ain't fought nobody. I promise you, it'll happen one day, and I'll be over there. I'm gonna dust some people off. You know what I mean? I got Brian Ortega choked me out when I was like 17. I got a hit list. You know what I mean? Like I got a list, nothing personal, but it's people I gotta get. You know what I mean? So I don't know, dude. He striking wise, I feel Holloway is the best. He's probably one of the most elite strikers in the game at our weight. Volkanovski, he's a workhorse. He's a new era workhorse. Pitbull, yeah, I would say he's the best at the moment until I dethrone him. But yeah, I feel he deserves that 145 #1 contender spot, #1 spot. Just he's a champ, you know what I mean? He knocked out Michael Chandler, and then Michael Chandler's over here fighting the UFC for a title shot now. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. His accolades, those credentials, dog, the man's doing it. He's done it, you know what I mean? So that's my job. Go get that job done.
And I think it's great that we're even having this conversation. I mean, you look what happened even just this week. Demetrius Johnson got knocked out and won championship by Adriano Moraes, a guy that a lot of people didn't know, and he's obviously considered one of the GOATs. So I think the conversation of being like all the best fighters are only in the UFC is a little bit dated at this point.
Hey, Pitbull is talking about he's putting up my million. Well, let me go secure my million, and we'll talk about what we'll do with my million afterwards.
And last thing, how do you win this fight when you and Patricio are actually in there?
Knockout. I give it round 2 at the most. I feel after about a minute and a half into the first, he's going to start to get desperate and he's going to come at me. And that's when he's going to make a mistake. It's going to look like Aldo versus McGregor all over.
There you go. Awesome, man. We're looking forward to it. Hopefully we can get this booked and appreciate the time, man.
Thanks for having me. Let's do it. God bless you all. And Pitbull, I'm coming for your neck. Got that leash and kennel, baby.